Alright, in today's WordPress tutorial, we're going to be looking at creating a call for action section. Actually, we're going to probably create at least two. Now, if you don't know what a call for action is, it's a marketing term that refers to the next step or action that a marketer wants or a web designer wants a consumer to take, such as buy now or read more or click here, something along those lines. Generally considered to be one of the most important parts of a page. You'll generally find them on the home page, either in the header or just under the header. Sometimes even in the navigation. You'll find a second instance, usually either in the footer or just above the footer. Today we're working in Neve 2.6.7 Pro again. We're going to be working with the Otter blocks, and we're the free version, and we're going to be working with Stackable, also the free version. If you don't know how to install these plugins, I've made a separate video on that, just so I don't have to introduce it every time. We're going to go ahead and start off with the Stackable plugin. So let's go up here to where it says type to choose block. We'll hit our /. Okay. Now this is the Stackable call to action. It's kind of unique in that it has a whole block just called call to action instead of having to build it of individual pieces. So we're going to go and select that. This is the free version, so I only have two options available, default and horizontal, which is fine because we're going to be going with default anyway. That's right. Go ahead and select that. Alright, now one thing you're going to notice right away, as I mouse over this, it will show you the different sections. If you were to try to change the background the normal way, you're not going to change the background for the entire block, only one section of it. So what we want to do is over here on the left, under our list view, go to call to action, select that, then back over to style, and we want to go to container background. Then container borders and shadow. Nope, not container. I'm sorry. Container background. Okay, and then background color. And we're gonna try to make orange look good. Alright, so let's go up here to the title block. And let's change that first to, you can call it whatever you want, but we're going to do book an appointment. Now we are going to change the text color white. We're going to go over here to typography and click on the little pencil. The default font, as far as I'm concerned, is actually just fine. So go ahead and click out of that, or change it to whatever font you want. Go down here under size. It's currently set to 0. Change that to, let's see what 48 looks like. I would say 48. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Let's see if we can make it bold. I think that'll be just fine. Okay, so our next text section. What we're going to be doing today, I actually don't want this. We're going to go ahead and delete the text. We're going to go back up. Since our heading is highlighted, we're going back up to the toolbar. We're going to click on the three buttons and select Add After. Now, in this case, I'm not going to be using a stackable block. That would be the icon list, which you can see right here. I don't know why, but in this version of Stackable, I have had trouble with the formatting going kind of wonky on me. So we're going to actually be using the icon list from Otter box, but to do that we need to take an extra step. So let's go back down here. And we're going to create a column. We're going to create a two-section column. This is actually a column from the Stackable selection. Then in each one of these we're going to click the plus, and we're going to type icon. And then we're going to pick the Otter box icon list. Remember, this is the one we don't want. This is the one we do want. It's going to auto-populate it with 3 items. I can tell you right now, we're going to go ahead and delete that third item. And we're going to jump over here to the other column, and we're going to do the exact same thing. Close to it anyway. Get rid of that. One thing to take a note, since this is list item 1 and this is list item 2, and you can change them to read whatever you want, that would actually make these 3 and 4. Okay. Now we have to worry about the alignment. So we're going to go back over to our list view. And we're going to go to columns again. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the first icon list. So under inner column, icon list item. I take that back, go up one, and select icon list. We're going to align that center. We're going to go down. Okay, we have inner column, and this is our second column. Under that we have icon list, and once again we are also going to align that center. And we're going to go back up to columns. We're going to go to max content, max width, and we're going to shrink that down. It's actually not looking too bad. Yeah, okay. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna make some changes here. Highlight everything over there. And if you go over to the right under block, you'll see icon picker. Click on the box with check. And we're going to do check, but we're going to do a different one. So go ahead and type check, and go down and select circle. Alright, now go down to color, content color, white, icon color, white. We're going to go over here to item list item 3 and 4. I'm going to try anyway. There we go. And we're going to do the same thing. Change it to white. Now I'm kind of surprised I didn't have to do any special alignment with that. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got. I am using local. If this was online, it would be a lot faster. I'll probably start doing that in the future. And what do you know? Looks just fine. Let's full screen that. Go back over here. Back to full screen. Okay. So let's work on our button. Go ahead and select it. Go ahead and select background. Oh, not that background, sorry. Go up to icon. And I take that back. Go up to button colors. Button color is going to be white. Text color is going to be this orange. So let's take a look at this orange. The hexadecimal value of this orange, as we can see here, is FC8600. So we're going to go back over here. We're going to make the text color FC600. Oh, I forgot. I got something wrong already. 8600. Come on. There we go. And we also want to change what it says. Let's do book appointment. Okay. And actually, let's go ahead and make that bold. I would say the size is just fine. Now, I want this button to be longer, so how are we going to do that? Go ahead and select the area. You can see over here under List View, the button is selected. And under Styles, we want full width. Okay, so button size and spacing. We're going to make it full width, but then we're going to go down to, well, making sure that's still selected. We're going to go over to Layout. We're going to take the Max Content Width slider. We're going to shrink that down. It's okay that it's going to the left, because we're going to go just underneath that to Content Horizontal Align. We're going to select Center. Okay, now I want that button to be as wide as the text is, so I would say that looks about right. Alright, let's go on to our next element. So I have the button selected. The toolbar pops up. Again, click on the three dots. Go to, oh, we don't have to select that after. Alright, WordPress can be a little awkward sometimes. So what we want to do, if you don't have before or after available, click around and eventually you'll find a plus sign. Go ahead and use that. And we are going to do a separator. Actually, not a separator. We're going to do a divider. There we go. We're going to pick that from the Stackable collection. As you can see, that gave us a white line, a thin white line. That's not what I want. I want dots. So I'm going to go up here to Styles. I'm going to click on dots. Those are too close together, so I'm going to go down here to width, and I think that looks about right. Okay, so let's go over. Let's highlight the divider section. Go back over to our toolbar. Add after. And we are going to be doing the social buttons from the Stackable collection. Alright. Right away, I already forgot the hexadecimal value of the background. We are going to need it. Alright, I'm going to go over to another screen here and write that down. FC8600. Alright, so we're going to come back over to our icons. Let's start with the Facebook icon. Go ahead and click on that. And then over on the right, go to icon. Select icon color. We're going to change that to white. Well, we're going to try. Oh, 1 second. Okay, my bad, not icon, button color. So go ahead and click on button color. I'm gonna type in the value we wrote down. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and copy and paste that. Or I'll copy it so I can't paste it. Alright, so it's not quite the end of it there. We want to go down to icon color. And we want to make that. Actually, I got it backwards. We want button color to be white. Alright. Moving along to Twitter. Button color, white. Icon color. Alright. Instagram, button color, white. And icon color. that shade of orange we settled on. All right, YouTube. YouTube is going to be white. Icon color. That particular shade of orange. All right, one more. White. And icon color. Just tab down there. Yes. There we go. Okay, we're getting pretty close to done here. Let's add another element. So with the button group selected, we have a couple choices. Now you can go over here and you can certainly do add after, but whenever you see this plus, it's the same thing except it will always add after. With the toolbar, you have the option to add before, which sometimes you're going to want to do. So if we selected add before, that would bring us above the social media icons and we can add an element there. Button we want to add after. Alright, I have some text written for this, so we were going to select the stackable text. And I'm going to copy and paste that. Alright, text color, white. For a disclaimer, I'd say that's a little big. Let's go down here to 12, 16. Alright, now let's take a look at what we have so far, because we should be about done. Now obviously if this were real, we would be linking the button to take us to another section, a calendar or something. Okay. Ignore the footer. Oops, I forgot to turn the footer and the header off. Anyway, but that looks good. What we have here looks pretty good. So I'm gonna jump back at full screen. And you know what? Let's just make one more change. Let's go back up to the top where it says call for action. And then here under style, container borders and shadow. And you know me, we're gonna give it a border radius. It's overkill, but I'm gonna give it a shadow. I'm gonna give it a size 6. I'm gonna come down to shadow opacity, and boom. All right, let's take one final look. And since we're going to be doing this again, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the header and the footer. Give us a blank slate. All right. Bear with me. This is going to take just a minute. All right. And hey, now you're going to get to see. You know what? We're not going to do that through the customizer. My bad. Let's go back. Slowly. Go back. Any day now. Alright. Alright. We're going to go to edit page. This has nothing to do with the actual tutorial. For creating the calls to action, I just want to clean things up. Alright. So what I'm going to do, since I'm using Neve, which you should be using too, I'm going to go over here, I'm going to click on the Neve icon. I'm going to go disable title, disable footer, disable header, publish, publish. I'm going to ignore this autosave. No, we don't want to view the page. Well, yeah, let's view the page. Alright. Now as you can see, we need a spacer. Alright. Well, now you're going to get to see how to do some content alignment. So I am going to add a spacer to this since it's stuck to the top. Just add the spacer. In this case, I'm using an Otter block spacer. I don't really like the stackable spacer. So here's the spacer. I can make it as big or as little as I want. Most importantly, we want to go over here to the toolbar, and you see these buttons. We want to move it up. That way, the next time we see it on its own, boom, it's not stuck to the top anymore. Alright. And because we want space to work, I'm going to go ahead and take this spacer, I'm going to duplicate it, I'm going to move it down, I'm going to duplicate it, and you'll understand why by the time we're done. And let's see. Alright, so we've got two spacers. I'm going to go to the top spacer, I'm going to go to the toolbar, I'm going to select Add After. Alright, so we're going to create our second call to action. Uh-oh, there's a problem. The layout that I want to achieve isn't available because I'm using the free version. I'm limited to 2 options. So let's go up here, top left, that little ladder view. We're going to go to where it says call to action. We are going to delete that. Alright, go back to that spacer, select Add After. Alright, let's go ahead and create a column. Caps lock is on. Alright, we're going to create a column. We're going to create a 2-section column. Now we are using a stackable column, not an OtterBox column. You'll see why here in a little bit. Alright, so let's go up here to where it says columns on the left hand side, so we have the whole thing selected. Let's go ahead and call it full width. While we're here, let's go ahead and go over here to style, background, and we're gonna do a nice dark blue. Alright. Again, now we're with the columns selected. We're going to go to Layout, Content Max Width. I'm going to set this for the moment at least to 1170. Alright. So that just affects the what's inside the columns. It's still well, let me just show you. Oh, if I can hit the right button, I'll show you. It's still going to be from edge to edge, but the contents are going to be constrained, as you'll see here in a moment. Alright, let's add some text. Let's see here. Let's get real creative. How about title for this call to action block? Great. We're going to go over here to the right, text color, make it white. Now this is the painful part. We are going to go ahead and pick out, well here, let's increase the size first. Yeah, we're going to have to use a different font. It kind of drives me crazy with so many to choose from. You know, so many fonts, they just don't work. But we're going to be looking at our Google fonts. Aklenika. I really like that font, but it's completely inappropriate. You know what? Since we're here having fun, let's keep that as Aklaneka. Alright, now we're going to do something that you don't do very often in web design. I'm going to take this text over here. We're going to go up to the toolbar. Here's the alignment. We're going to click it, and we're going to align the text right. Now, people read from left to right. It's very rare that you actually align text to right in a website. Alright. So we're going to come over here. We're going to have some more text. Let's see, I think that's something I can copy and paste over here. If not, we'll do some. Yeah. That'll work. Alright. We're going to change the text color to white. When you see me highlight all of it, that's not actually necessary. That's just an old habit from different software. As long as your cursor is in that area, you can go over to text color and select it, and it will change everything. So we do want to go ahead and increase this. Let's just say 18. Alright, now clearly we had some alignment problems. So we're going to go back over here to our left column, and we're going to go back to typography. We're going to click on the little pencil. We're going to go to line height. Now see what happens? It changes the amount of space in between the sentences. We want it as tight as we can without running into each other. We want it as tight as we can without looking bad. And I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and preview what we have so far. I do that a lot when I'm working. It's easy to overlook a step sometimes, and there's no point in getting a ton of work done. I might have to go back and change one little thing. Okay, that actually is starting to look pretty good. Okay, next up, we want a button. So we're going to go over here to the left-hand column with the description for this block text. We're going to go over to our three dots on the toolbar. We're going to select Add After. We want it after that particular column so that it's on the right-hand side. We're gonna. If you haven't seen how I do that, you type a /. That's the key with the question mark. Brings up a menu, and you start typing what you want. In this case, we want a button, and we are going to go with the Stackable brand button. It's probably not necessary. You can use either one, but hey, a button's a button. Alright, let's change this to read Learn More. Now we're working with blue. So what color goes with blue? Believe it or not, let's change the text color. We're going to change the text color to the same color blue as the background. And we're going to change the button color to yellow. Yellow and blue. There's a whole science behind picking color schemes and color combinations for websites. Long story short, blue and yellow go really good together. See if we can make that a little bigger. Alright. One thing I don't like here is I wish we had some padding. So let's don't want to go to that one. Go back up here to where this is where we started. This is the column. This is the second call to action. I'm going to go to style. Oh, maybe not style. Can you tell I don't work with Stackable very often? Inner column spacing, column gap, row gap, content max width, block size and spacing. Here we go. Paddings. We're going to drag this. We're going to make that bigger. So, a little bigger. Alright. Now, as you can see, it's bigger. So let's go ahead and preview that so you can see it compared to what it was before. And essentially, you could call that done. That's a really good looking call for action section. But hey, this is a tutorial and we're here to have some fun. So let's see what else we can do. Now I could have done this all in Otter blocks. But there are, with the stackable blocks, you can do different things with colors that you can't do with Otter blocks. So with our main column selected, up here, we're going to go to Style. Now if this was an Otter block, we would have just this primary color. Our gradient option wouldn't be very good. But since we're in the stackable blocks, let's go ahead and pick gradient. Alright, so color number 1 is blue. Let's make color number 2 red. Alright, now here's something you have in the stackable blocks that you don't have in Otter blocks. Advanced gradient color settings. Go ahead and click on that. Alright, we want to change the rotation. So, okay, now the red is on top. Alright, now we have a gradient block. Now this looks good. It's a little wild, but it looks good. Let's see what we can do with background gradient blend modes. Let's try multiply. Now that looks really good. That I would definitely use something like that. Let's try screen. That looks good. Little darken, lighten. That was good. Color burn, hard light, soft light, difference. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I do believe we have a winner. This button right here is getting changed to purple. A little darker. And we're going to go ahead and change the text to white. Okay, now that's beautiful. Let's go ahead and preview that. You know, sometimes it's messing around with options. You hit on the greatest things. Alright, so here's our first call for action, the one in orange. Looks good. Looks professional. Something you would see on an actual website. I really like what we ended up here with this second call for action, the purple and black. That is absolutely stunning. I'm going to remember that one, and I am going to actually use that in a design at some point. Well, that concludes the tutorial for today. I hope you learned something. I hope you were able to follow along. I hope it wasn't too confusing. And we'll see you again tomorrow.